Hi everybody, thank you for joining me this week as I launch my second novel, The Summer Will Come, on the 25th of March. And of course I'd like to thank Dash Fans Book Reviews for hosting me. Thank you ever so much. So what I'd now like to do is read a short extract to you from the book. It's actually from one of the chapters written from the point of view of Evangelia, who's the mother of Elena. They're two of the four main characters in the book. And it's at this point in the story where Evangelia has made the decision to leave Cyprus and move to London. And she is at the official government offices in Larnaca waiting for her papers to be authorised, giving her permission to take the passage from Cyprus to England. "Where will you be residing?" asked the official. He twiddled with his pen, and Evangelia watched a bead of dripping sweat disappear into his hairline. "In London with my husband and my sister." "Who else lives there?" "My sister's 3 children and her husband." "How big is the accommodation?" "It's a 4-storey house. It says so in the letter." He carried on reading through the letter for what might have been the 3rd time. Evangelia's eyes squinted as she concentrated on his stubby fingers and ridged nails. "When did the letter come?" "A week ago. The postmark says September the 18th. Evangelia pointed to the Queen's head on the stamp, smudged by the inky franc mark imprinted across it. The official stood tall and sashayed towards a part glass partitioned area behind his desk, where Evangelia saw him talking to another man. On the wall behind him hung a picture of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and an old map of Cyprus, the glass broken in the bottom corner of the frame. The official paced the small room while the other man leafed through the paperwork. "Why has it taken you so long to bring the letter in?" the official asked when he eventually came back to the front. "Because I've been working and I didn't have anyone to mind the children, so I'm finally here. I had to bring them with me." She felt the pressure mounting, aware of the heat and the vast number of people who had now filled the space behind her. "So you want to travel together with the children and your mother and the Kyriakides family in April. Not next year, but the year after, in 1958, in 19 months' time." "Yes, I have a lot to organise before then, and I need time to save for the tickets." Evangelia knew this was an understatement, and the undertaking was sure to involve the most tremendous preparations and planning. "And the Kyriakides? We'd like to travel together. I have all their paperwork here," she said again, wondering why he kept asking the same questions. "I can't authorise their papers. They have to come here in person." "But I said I would." "These are the rules. They are not family. They can come any time with the paperwork." "Very well, I will tell them." The official stared at her askance and hesitated before taking out a pad in triplicate. He filled out the details painfully slowly. His writing was small, rigid. He held onto the ink pen at an odd angle, dragging the nib across the page, leaving tear marks on it. Just like him, thought Evangelia, hard, but inside she thanked God, grateful things were now at long last moving in the right direction, even though the mundanity of the process was agonising. She looked apologetically to the crowd of people behind her, noisily pushing their way towards the 3 desks at the front. He got up a second time and went to consult with the same man again. A decision has to be imminent, she thought to herself. "Ade, what are we waiting for?" called out the short, obese man behind her as he now pushed against her lower back, his big belly as round and as solid as a watermelon. He called out again aggressively, "I've been waiting for over 2 hours." A couple of other men called out too, taking their cue from him, and she felt a surge of bodies move forward. People floundered in the heat, tired and dispirited. Evangelia, her legs aching from standing for more than 2 hours, was pushed into the heavy oak table. She flinched from the pain in her abdomen. The muggy, oppressive heat strangled her. Her dress stuck to her back, the sweat damp and uncomfortable. She looked over the man's shoulders to Elena and Andreas, chasing each other in the huge square courtyard, the ornate iron gates majestically towering over them. She watched as 3 other young ones joined in and wondered whether it would be as easy for her children to join in with other children in England. She wondered what sort of a life they would have. What was she taking them to? The ceiling fans barely circulated any air, and what breeze they did create was warm, stifling. She tried to reach into her bag for the flask of water she had brought with her, but as she did, she found herself drifting. The room spun, in and out of focus around her. She held onto the desk to support herself, but the nausea swaddled her. She slumped onto the tiled floor, darkness engulfing her. Thank you again for listening to the extract, and I hope you enjoy the book, The Summer Will Come. I really enjoyed researching and writing it, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think. Thank you.